Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at United Health. It is time for another update, and quickly on the long time frame. For any of you who might be new, we have been tracking and we have been focusing on this green interpretation where we have here a double 1 2 1 2 setup. Then this would be the third wave up, and we would now quite possibly still be within the fourth wave to the downside, where we expect to find a reversal or to find support in the area between the $260 level down to the $96 level, bottom somewhere in this area, and then create the reversal in the fifth wave to new all-time highs. Now, if we break below the 50% retracement, the green scenario would be invalidated, and we would need to look for a slightly different interpretation and there are backup scenarios that could still allow continuation in the long time frame, but at the moment we are still quite far from any of those levels that really would invalidate the green scenario. And here in the shorter time frame, we have two main scenarios that we could track. Firstly, it is possible technically from a larger time frame perspective that this wave 4 could have bottomed. We did reach the support zone here that we had in green, and we did create the reaction, but the issue I have with considering this really the bottom in a wave 4 is that we generated a 5-wave move to the downside, and then I would much rather consider this an A wave down, and then I would be looking for a correction in a wave B in the area between the $342 up to the $510 level, and then still look for continuation to the downside in an additional 5-wave move within the wave C. Now, normally corrections are structures that form in 3 waves. They can be in some cases triangles that would be a 5-wave correction, but that is a completely different pattern. But the idea is when we form a 5-wave move, we generally tend to look for a retracement in 3 waves in a correction and then continuation in that trend. So that is why I would much rather prefer still continuation within this wave 4 in green in this on this chart, rather than considering a bottom here and looking directly for new all-time highs. Then in this case, in the short time frame, we have been looking at a few different scenarios in this area, but mainly the white scenario where we are looking here for wave B. Now the substructure within it has had a few different interpretations, but basically we have been tracking this in the previous video as an ABC pattern that could overall complete the entire wave B in one go. Now, in the previous video, I provided you this support zone for a wave 4 to fulfill this idea, this interpretation, but we happened to actually fail to hold this support, and there is a backup interpretation that would still allow this completion in an ABC pattern here, but I would now need to actually bring to the chart a very different possibility, and I would like to really shift this idea to the yellow scenario, because then we will have an alternative scenario and both of them would still overall be within this wave B in white, that, as I was saying, we expect to find resistance in this retracement area and then still continuation to the downside. And yeah, as I was saying, both of them would still be within the green, or sorry, the white scenario. But in this case, I would be looking and considering that, okay, maybe this is the entire third wave up as opposed to what we previously had as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete an impulse in the wave C. And now we have to shift to tracking a possible diagonal, although those are not the most reliable patterns, but really this is the only way we can really track direct continuation to the upside in this case. And in this case, yeah, I would be looking still for wave 4, but instead in the area between the $347.5 down to the $325 level. Now, a break below the 61.8% retracement would rather indicate a failure in this case, and probably a shift to this other scenario that, yeah, we will track, let's say, in blue, and then I would be looking to find support for a larger correction in a wave B that would allow us to reach prices from $307 down to the $57 level, and then look for the C wave to the upside. And in this interpretation, I would consider that, okay, we had here a wave 1, a wave 2, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then a fifth wave. And for those of you who have been following may realize that, okay, this was the initial idea, and it was a good idea. It was still applying, but based on the strength that we really have developed here, I was really looking for something more probable in what is now in the yellow scenario. But it seems that, yeah, we may have actually completed just a 5-wave move in a leading diagonal within the A wave in the blue scenario, and if we fail to hold the 61.8% retracement for a direct continuation to the upside, the probabilities rather suggest that, yeah, we will very likely reach the blue support zone instead, where again I would still be looking for continuation to the upside, but just a larger retracement overall first before, yeah, we resume within the wave C and then complete the wave B. But for now we still have some room here in the yellow interpretation, and really there isn't much else to add. I see a pretty great risk even with all the room that is left within the yellow interpretation, but it is your choice how you choose to approach this based on this situation, based on the information that I gave you. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.